Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out Drunken Simulator 2014, otherwise known as Beer Goggles. I'm actually not sure which is the proper title. I've seen it described as both in various places. However, not totally important. What we're looking at today is a UDK game about crossing the road, trying to get home from a night out on the town. As you might imagine, we've had a bit of a rough night here, well, maybe a fun night anyway, and we're going to be making our way home across what seems to be the world's most dangerous set of intersections. Basically, our house is exactly across all of these streets, and we just need to not get hit by cars. So it's sort of like something like a human Frogger, if you will. So this is, was designed from the Global Game Jam 2014, the game competition, or game development competition, I should say. And let me start crossing the roads here. So we can get to see some new areas before all of a sudden it's over. The game is not particularly long, is what I'm getting at here. It's just a series of streets, albeit reasonably well-realized streets. You know, I have to say the artistic design of this was all right. I definitely appreciate the attention to detail in having, you know, cars with multiple different lights and designs to them. We've got some signs that seem to have 65 North flashing on them. Guessing probably reference the developer or something. And a little bit of haziness off in the distance. I was a little disappointed there's not more drunkenness. You know, by the name of the game, I was expecting we'd be shaking and falling over and having a rough time in general, but it seems like we can pretty much walk as well as we'd like. And also, our character seems to have a very strange issue, being sort of a set of disembodied arms. I suppose if we were playing this in Oculus Rift or something, that might be a little bit better. But since we're not, no, it just seems a little bit disconcerting and strange, and I'm not sure what this... Oh god, I got hit by a car. I'm sorry. That was a little traumatic, actually. Be safe, everybody. You know, drink responsibly, of course. Anyway, yeah, I was kind of wondering what that little location happens to be that I was standing inside of. Just like a little building that is pitch black and... Oh, that's every time I get hit. I don't like it. But yeah, I've never really seen a building like that as I've crossed roads. I've also never really attempted to do something quite this dangerous in my life. I've never crossed this many streets while I've been sober, let alone impaired, and I'd say this is probably a really bad idea. These cars don't have any idea you're going to be in the road in a moment. But whatever these little buildings are, they seem to have some music playing, unless it's just all in your head, which is also quite possible. And then it just seems to have this little, like... section in the center of this, whatever this is, that's got some cars coming out, and basically you're supposed to dash across the street right here, which is horrifying. This just reminds me of like a nightmare that I never want to find myself in, because I would definitely be killed. Yeah, alright, so we're gonna dash right about here. It's kind of incredible, actually, that you're even able to do something like this, and yeah, alright, well, that's gonna hurt. I was going to say, being this drunk as this character is supposed to be, it's pretty incredible that he can make it this far across this many roads. One of the fun challenges that I had while I was doing my sound check on this was just seeing how far I could get just looking straight up or down. Because occasionally the randomized nature of when these cars seem to show up lets you get across most of these. Not every time, of course, and every single time I get hit, the sound of it kind of makes my blood boil a little bit, or maybe not blood boil is the right word, but it makes me feel a little uneasy. It's kind of the same sound that I was always a little disturbed by when you'd like fall from too high an area in Mirror's Edge. That just absolutely gross bone-crunching crack when Faith hits the ground. I'm not into that sound at all. So thankfully these cars are being a little bit on the slow side. You know, the thing that struck me is that this is just, you know, being a game jam game, it's not particularly long, but I see a lot of potential in this sort of an idea as like a new realization of Frogger for, you know, or yeah, Frogger for the next generation, I suppose, a new gritty version of it, where essentially we go through a number of different districts trying to cross roads for various reasons, and I guess we could be more or less impaired if we were to be, and that could provide a new level of challenge. Maybe you could use it as modifiers. You know, here's crossing the road with broken glasses while also drunk. What on earth was that? Oh, and if we make it across this one, we've got a power-up in the form of what I believe to be likely a beer, or Mountain Dew, I guess if you're under drinking age. I think it's safe right now. Yeah! And then we'll go down this little ramp, and it looks like things actually almost get easier at this point. These cars seem to be coming from the same direction, at least, which makes it a little easier to focus on where they are. And then our home seems to have a giant scoreboard on it. I'm not sure why. but I like it. I embrace it. And then very uplifting, happy music over here. Just the right type of music to not get hit by a car. Yeah, success. And apparently when we go through our door to reach our home, we're still hit by something anyway. I'm not sure what that was. And it just resets us back at the beginning. Anyway, there's not a whole lot to this game, unfortunately. I wish there was more to it. I think I'm just going to run blindly through this street as we wrap up here. But I definitely see some potential. Ow. And I could definitely, yep. Got to remember to look both ways. Got to watch out for cars. The one-liners, I think, would be hilarious if there were like 100 of them. I sort of see a little bit of like Soda Drinker Pro style hilarity that could go on in this game. I also see ragdoll style physics happening with the character. Like, that almost has to be a thing. Oh my goodness. I made it very far on that, just walking without any kind of guidance whatsoever. It's surprisingly tense every time I cross one of these streets expecting it hit. When I don't make it, I'm shocked every time for some reason. For some reason, I just keep thinking I'm going to make it over, and I just don't. Also, what's going on in the sky? There's, like, fireflies everywhere or something? Or there's, like, particles just to give us a sense of air? You know, that's technically a thing I've seen quite a few developers do, that you give a sense of volume to the air surrounding... Ow! The sense of volume to the air surrounding you just based on having a little something there just to give it depth. And also the fact that there's, you know, degrees of blurriness also tends to help with that sort of thing. But yeah, he doesn't seem very drunk at all, honestly. I mean, I have great control over my character. I can't walk left or right, so I don't really have that to worry about at all. It's just all about, you know, can I walk forward and back successfully? And I guess even a drunk person can do that to some degree. And we didn't even get our beer that time. It's not fair at all. Oh, right at the end. Right at the end, it got me. Anyway, I guess that's Drunken Simulator 2014. I would love to see a proper Drunken Simulator 2014, and I will probably keep continuing on for my search for something like that. I'm sure it's within our grasp. There has to be a bunch of games that are like that, right? I've even found a couple other ones, but they were just like really bad and not very substantial in any way, and that's, you know, saying something, considering in this case this game is not particularly substantial either, but I think those were even way less. But I had a fun time trying to cross the road. And, you know, if anything, let this be a lesson. Don't cross the road while impaired. And if you do, do it in a video game. And preferentially with Oculus Rift goggles on, so you can feel the full force of the car hitting you, kind of. I don't know. I would love to see more of this. This is just a silly, fun time. Alright, I'm gonna get... Oh, am I gonna make it? I was just kind of buying time here. So, like, yeah, I made it all the way through, and I fell through the building. I guess that's me crashing into the floor. Never seen that part before. Anyway. There we go. If you want to download it, link's going to be right in the description for it. It is totally free, of course. It's an Unreal Engine game, so the file is a little bit large on the download. But, you know, if you're into crossing the street while slightly impaired, go for it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I am curious, of course, to hear what your improvements and, you know, configurations could be to make this more entertaining, in your opinion. And, of course, if you know any good games that simulate the act of being drunk, let me know that as well, because that could be kind of entertaining. Yeah, I'll just walk in front of the first car I see. I could even play this game in Grand Theft Auto, couldn't I? It's kind of a thing you could replicate in a lot of different ways. But, yeah, that's it. I will catch you guys next time. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day, so I'll see you back for another one tomorrow if you are so inclined. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving some support in the form of a like. Can't jump out of the way of that car, despite my best efforts. But I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you again so much for watching, and have a wonderful night.